Welcome to a story about a journey to find truth, depth, and the meaning of life. A story that might touch hidden corners of your soul, especially if you've ever felt like an outsider in a crowd. Listen closely, and perhaps you'll find a part of yourself within it. I vividly remember social gatherings with friends in my youth. The boisterous laughter, the endless small talk, the gossip about this person or that. Everyone seemed so happy, immersed in the lively atmosphere. But I often found myself standing quietly in a corner, observing and feeling a strange emptiness. It wasn't that I didn't want to fit in, it was that I couldn't. The superficial conversations, the repetitive topics about fashion, cars, or newly released movies, they felt like an invisible burden weighing on my mind. I felt my mental energy being uselessly drained, as if I were trying to fill a bottomless cup with shallow drops of water. I yearned for something deeper. I wanted to talk about the universe, the meaning of life, the philosophies that shape humanity, about humanity's deepest fears and hopes. I wanted to explore the complex dimensions of the soul, the mysteries of science, or ideas that could change the world. But in those gatherings, my desires seemed out of place, sometimes even deemed too serious or unapproachable. I realized that not everyone sought truth, depth, and authenticity as I did, and that was when I began to understand that perhaps I belonged to a different kind of person. Intelligent people, those with profound souls, often possess a special sensitivity to the world around them. They don't just see the surface, they strive to penetrate the veneer to reach the inner essence. Consequently, superficial social interactions, conversations that merely skim the surface with small talk and gossip, often become a burden, a waste of mental energy for them. They crave truth, depth, and authenticity in every interaction, and when they don't find it, they would rather choose silence than participate in a play they don't belong to. You've probably heard of the philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer, a great mind with profound thoughts, sometimes pessimistic in tone, but always incredibly truthful. Schopenhauer once said that intelligence is a deep perception, a penetrating insight into the nature of reality, and sometimes that insight brings pain. This pain stems from intelligent people being more sensitive to hypocrisy, to the internal contradictions within society, to cleverly disguised lies, and to the trivialities that the majority consider normal. Imagine you have eyes that can see through every disguise. You would see the true nature of everything, both good and bad, beautiful and distorted. In a world where many choose to live with pleasant illusions, possessing such eyes can be a burden. You would see hollow compliments masking envy, fake smiles concealing contempt, relationships built on self-interest rather than genuine affection. This very sensitivity makes it difficult for intelligent people to blend into the mainstream of society, because they cannot ignore what they see, what they perceive. They feel a profound mismatch between their rich inner world and the superficiality-ridden outer world. Schopenhauer brilliantly described how highly intelligent people often feel lonely in a crowd, not because they lack the ability to connect, but because they struggle to find kindred spirits who can understand and share the depth of their thoughts. They are like lighthouses standing alone in the night sea, emitting brilliant light, but rarely finding another lighthouse nearby to illuminate together. For those with profound intellect, souls yearning for truth, solitude is not a frightening isolation, but a necessary space, a tonic to restore mental energy. It's not a punishment, but a gift. In solitude, they find the quietude to think, to contemplate, to reorder chaotic thoughts, and to protect the quality of their thinking from external noise and distractions. Think about those moments when you can truly focus on a complex problem, when there's no phone ringing, no idle chatter, no demands to answer emails. That is precisely the space intelligent people seek and cherish. In solitude, they can freely explore the boldest ideas, ask the deepest questions without fear of judgment or interruption. They can immerse themselves in books, research, works of art, or simply listen to their own inner voice. This solitude doesn't weaken them. On the contrary, it strengthens their inner resolve, sharpens their intellect, and nourishes their souls. It's like an athlete needing hours of solitary training to hone their skills, or an artist needing private space to create a masterpiece. For intelligent people, solitude is a crucible where they become stronger, deeper, and truer to themselves. And interestingly, Schopenhauer's perspective isn't just an ancient philosophy. Modern research has strongly supported what he observed centuries ago. Psychological scientists have indicated that highly intelligent individuals often report lower life satisfaction when compelled to conform to average social demands. This means that if an intelligent person is forced to participate in too many superficial social activities or to interact in ways they feel are inauthentic, they will experience stress, fatigue, and unhappiness. A prominent study has shown that for individuals with high IQs, an increase in social interactions does not boost their life satisfaction. In some cases, it even decreases it. Conversely, highly intelligent people often thrive in selective, deep connections. They would rather have fewer but quality friends, fewer but meaningful conversations, than a vast network but empty. They don't seek popularity, they seek understanding. They don't seek the applause of the crowd, they seek resonance from a few kindred spirits. This is entirely understandable. Imagine you are someone who can perceive subtle colors that most people only see as black and white. When you try to describe these colors to others, they might not understand, perhaps even thinking you're saying something strange. Eventually, you'll grow tired of explaining, and you'll seek out others who also possess the ability to see those colors, or you'll choose to contemplate them alone. That is precisely the experience of many intelligent people in social interactions. They have a rich inner world, a more multi-dimensional way of perceiving the world, and when they don't find understanding, they choose to retreat into their own world. Solitude is not just a place for recovery, it is also a crucible for innovation and creativity. History has proven this through countless great inventors, artists, scientists, and philosophers. From Isaac Newton with his years of rural seclusion developing the theory of universal gravity, to Jane Austen with her classic literary works written in the quietude of her home, or Leonardo da Vinci with his ahead-of-their-time ideas nurtured in his private studio. All of them are vivid testaments to the power of solitude. In solitude, the mind is freed from pressures, social expectations, and group opinions that can stifle originality. Uninfluenced by mainstream thought, unique ideas can flourish freely. Quietude allows flashes of intuition to spark, disparate pieces of knowledge to connect in novel ways, and seemingly intractable problems to suddenly find solutions. Think of a scientist diligently working in a laboratory, a writer immersed in the world of their characters, or a musician searching for new melodies. All of them require their own space, a certain solitude to allow their creativity to flourish. Solitude is not emptiness, but a space brimming with potential, where the seeds of ideas are sown and nurtured until they are robust enough to reach the world. It is a place where difference is accepted, where even the craziest ideas have a chance to be heard by their creators themselves. However, it's important to emphasize that despite avoiding superficial social interactions, intelligent people by no means wish to live in perpetual solitude. On the contrary, they often yearn for deep, authentic connections with kindred spirits. They don't seek complete isolation, but rather selectivity in their relationships. For them, quality always takes precedence over quantity. They seek individuals who can grasp the complexity of their thoughts, who can engage in meaningful conversations, who aren't afraid to confront the truth, even if that truth can sometimes be difficult to hear. They desire relationships built on mutual respect, profound understanding, and absolute sincerity. And when they find such kindred spirits, they will open their hearts completely, share their most intimate thoughts, and forge strong bonds that are more valuable than any superficial relationship. Think of soulmate friendships, marital relationships where both partners share a profound worldview, small groups of like-minded individuals working towards a common goal. That is precisely what intelligent people yearn for. They don't need a large social circle. They only need a few solid anchors, a few mirrors that reflect the depth of their souls. And when found, these relationships become invaluable sources of motivation and inspiration, helping them continue their journey of self-discovery and growth. The solitude of the intelligent, therefore, is not merely a personal preference or a lifestyle choice. It is also the cradle for their life's purpose. It is a path to profound inner freedom, a space for them to define their core values, discover their mission, and develop their capacity to transform the world. When a person spends time alone to think, to contemplate, they have the opportunity to listen to their inner voice, to understand themselves better, to grasp what they truly want and what they believe in. They are not swayed by external pressures, by societal prejudice.